of our Shamu family. It is a privilege to work alongside our killer whales. As trainers, we're part of a multifaceted SeaWorld team that's responsible for the care, health, and well-being of these amazing animals. Now we're going to introduce you to the two killer whales we have in this pool right now. We have 7 killer whales in our Shamu family here at SeaWorld Orlando. You guys will get the chance to meet 2 very special members. We're going to start with Kayla. Kayla, in my opinion, is the best named killer whale of them all. She's 25 years old. She was born at SeaWorld, Texas. She's right there on our shallow side of the pool. That's Kayla. She's 5,800 pounds. Pretty big. And then we also have Malia, who's working alongside Jessica. She's going to wave a little bit. And even do a couple dance moves for you. Malia is 6 years old. She was born right here at SeaWorld Orlando. And a lot of people will ask us about these animals and they'll say, they're so big and the behaviors are larger than life. How do you train all of those behaviors? Really good question. Even though the beginning animals are very big and the behaviors are larger than life, we start very small. In fact, the very first thing that a young killer whale learns is just to touch the palm of our hand with their nose. You guys are going to get a good picture opportunity with Malia. If you point your camera to the middle of the pool, or camera there you go. So we'll explain that pool there in a minute. But like I was saying, the first thing that killer whale learns is to touch the nose of the palm of our hand. And that becomes the foundation for everything that they know.
Moment disparos repetitivo, Jaime.
You start off learning your alphabet, or your ABCs. And every book and everything you will ever read is basically based off of that alphabet. So the alphabet's foundation for everything you will read. It's the same thing with the killer whales in training. The foundation for all the behaviors they know is just to touch their nose to the palm of our hand. Now obviously, if we want to reach out to the middle of the pool, we don't exactly have long enough arms, right? So if we want to do behavior in the middle of the pool, we use something called a target pole, which is what Tanner is holding. It's really long, obviously. There's a bunch of different sizes, basically, or lengths of those target poles, but the concept is the same. The target pole itself is like an extension of our arms, and the buoy at the end of that target pole represents the palm of our hand. So if we want to ask Kayla or Malia to jump at a certain area of the pool, we just use that target pole where we can't reach. Now right now you guys are looking at a couple different sessions. With our adult female Kayla, you guys are looking at an exercise session. There's lots of different interactions and sessions that we can do throughout the day with the animals. And exercise is one of them. Just like we should be exercising pretty regularly as humans, killer whales should be exercising pretty regularly too to make sure that their heart rate is pumping enough and that their lungs are functioning very well. Now you guys are going to get to see how we use that target pole. Malia is doing a learning session, which we'll define in a minute. But here's another picture opportunity with this target pole and Malia. Perfect. Now Malia is, like I said, doing a learning session, which means that the behavior that she's learning right now isn't trained all the way yet. It's called a high jump. Basically, the finished behavior will ask Malia to go to the bottom of the pool, and then she'll come up as fast as she can and explode out of the water. She's basically going to jump as high as she can, which is why it's called a high jump. She's still in the beginning stages of training here. So basically, we're still using this target pole to give her a place to go in the pool and to give her a goal to reach. So we're not just saying jump as high as you can. We're asking for a jump and try to touch this buoy on the end of this pole. So you see, Jess is working with that concept right now on stage with a smaller target pole. Just reminding her what that buoy means, reminding her that all I want you to do is try to touch this ball with your nose. Now, when an animal does something really great, whether it's a smaller behavior like touching the buoy or the ball, or jumping up out of the water, they're always rewarded for doing something really well. Now, the rewards can vary. What do you guys think killer whales want to be rewarded with? Fish. I heard a lot of people say fish. Yeah, fish, absolutely. But there are other things that they like to be rewarded with as well. Things like ice, for example. Kayla over here on the left-hand side seems to really enjoy ice, so we can reward her with ice a lot. We can also reward animals with back scratches, belly rubs, big killer whale-sized toys, and even Jell-O. Yeah, Jell-O. Not the exact same kind of Jell-O that you and I might be used to. In fact, it doesn't have any sugar or any flavor. We think they might enjoy it because of the texture. But we can reward the animals in a lot of different ways. That type of training is called positive reinforcement, which, like I said, means that every time an animal does something really well, we give them some kind of reward. Now let's see if Malia hits this target pole here. She did perfectly, and if you guys were listening really well, you heard a couple of our trainers say, "Wow, good job." Now they can't kind of hear us, which is why we do that party. We basically say we throw a party on stage. Tanner's jumping up and down for her, Jess is jumping up and down for her, and sometimes you hear her say, "Woo, good girl, good job." But their hearing is much better at a higher range. So we also wear whistles around our necks. And if you're listening to the training process, you might notice that we're blowing those high-pitched whistles every once in a while. That's because we want them to hear that whistle. That whistle tells them, "Good boy, good girl, thank you, we're so proud of what you just did." So every time you hear a whistle being blown during a session or an interaction, we're telling them, "Good girl," or "Good boy." And if you're looking at Malia at the stage over there, you can see that Jess is basically continuing on with that party atmosphere, if you want to call it that. Giving her a nice peck rub, maybe a belly scratch as well. Like I said, there's some other ways that we can reward these animals. Now, we're always learning about them, too, as a species and as individuals. We try to make sure that everything is always positive and encouraging, and that helps us build the relationships between these animals and ourselves. That's because, like I said, we have a lot of different things that we can reward these animals with, but all of these animals are individuals. So even though Kayla seems to really enjoy ice, one of our other adult females could pretty much take it or leave it. Knowing all the quirks and idiosyncrasies of these animals help us build positive relationships and keep learning really fun. So if you guys were listening again, you heard the whistle again. Malia is doing a really great job learning this behavior. She's progressed a lot. Now each behavior and each whale, because they're all different, they learn at different rates. Some behaviors take just a couple weeks to train, some of them a couple months, and some of them, sometimes a couple years for them to learn.